Twitch is a platform where many people live stream. Nowadays on YouTube, there are very similar streaming features, but unlike YouTube, Twitch is primarily set for streaming. The algorithm, otherwise known as the mechanics of the website helping people discover your content, is also very different. On YouTube, it's much easier to create content and have it seen by others without having connections to larger creators. While knowing other creators or being part of a community may bring you lots of opportunity, your channel's success does not primarily depend on that. It is not impossible to create a successful video without knowing anybody. This seems to be a little bit different on Twitch, however. You see a very large majority of Twitch's traffic goes towards the top percentage of Twitch's live streamers. That appears to make it much harder to grow on Twitch compared to YouTube. So making connections with larger streamers is one of the best ways to grow. But the flip side to this is that being on a popular Twitch streamer's bad side may also be a way to completely obliterate your career as a Twitch streamer, even if you've done nothing wrong. Today we're going to be diving into a situation which many of you already know about, with the focus being on the corruption behind Twitch's largest streamers. Why so many fear that their Twitch streaming career will perish if they speak up for themselves, or how sometimes it will happen anyway due to the corruption of certain Twitch streaming cliques. Many of you already know the situation regarding Mizkif, several other streamers, and this huge cover-up that has happened over the past few years on Twitch. This isn't something that just recently happened. This has been going on for a while. It was just brought to the surface recently. But for those of you who are unaware, I'll do my best to summarize everything in a digestible way. And while going through this summary, you will see reoccurring patterns of the corruption that I have been talking about. Just a heads up, I sound sick, but I'm not. I was sick a while ago. I don't know what this all is. Hello, I know it's been a minute. I will have an explanation on where I've been and what's going on at the end of this video because it's completely unrelated and I don't want to take away from the situation here. So if you're interested in hearing my unrelated updates, stay to the end of the video and I'll talk about it. Twitch has been a pretty big dumpster fire lately. It seems like one horrible thing happens after another. A streamer known as Slicker has scammed his audience and other streamers out of $300,000 due to a gambling addiction.
Every single day I felt guilty. Every single day. Taking off these innocents, viewers, from streamers.
While streamers worked to try and get the money refunded to those who were scammed, this was very obviously a massive issue for many people on the platform. This resulted in several Twitch streamers calling out Twitch to ban gambling. Two of the most prominent demanding this were Pokimane and Mizkif. Both of them had made tweets, and Mizkif had stated this during a stream.
Twitch, ban gambling for the love of God. I don't know where Slicker started gambling from, but for the love of God, would you just ban it already? Like, why the is this on this platform? People like Slicker is a dime a dozen when it comes to people that are probably addicted to shit and doing similar shit that he is. Ban the thing. Why is this a thing in 2022? Why did I call Twitch 4 months ago for a meeting when they want to have a meeting about this and you guys have done shit? Just ban gambling. I don't get it. Think about hundreds of people are probably just like Slicker, except they have no platform.
Twitch then made the decision to ban most forms of gambling off of the website, with a few exceptions. Some people were happy about the ban, and others not so much. Another streamer named Asmongold made this tweet here, stating, "How the f is Slicker not banned on Twitch? Guy literally uses the platform to defraud dozens of people, streamers, and viewers alike, and admits it. Gideon is still sitting on a perma, while Slicker gets to go live and laugh about an actual crime. It is an absolute disgrace, and this is where everything is about to hit the fan." Another streamer named Trainwreck, surprisingly no pun intended considering how this situation unfolds, responds to this tweet with this: "Because your pals decided it was in their best interest to use and platform the very person that scammed everyone for his horse racing and tennis bets to somehow twist it and wager their war against me. And we both know deep down why the insecure little man is doing this." And now this tweet was deleted, but there have been screenshots of Mizkif responding to this, stating, "If we're going to deplatform people for scamming others, shouldn't we have banned you for Joltcoin a few years back?" And that is when Trainwreck responded with, "Are you going to send Maya and Mitch to railroad and blackmail me like you did those girls to cover up all of those sexual assaults, you fucking scumbag piece of You want to come at me and make it up? Then you better be sure you don't live in a glass house, you insecure p***. The people involved know the truth, but for those of you who are farming drama and coming to split conclusions, let me be even more clear. Mizkif didn't assault the woman. He orchestrated the cover-ups for his friends, exactly how my tweet reads. Now, just so you know, Slicker and CrazySlick are two completely different people. They just have similar sounding names. I know that's confusing, but for the remainder of this video, we will be mostly discussing CrazySlick. So for backstory, in 2020, an up-and-coming streamer named Adrianah Lee went to a party with Twitch streamers where she ended up drinking a lot and passing out. At some point during her being intoxicated, CrazySlick approached her and allegedly touched her inappropriately on her chest. In 2021, a streamer named Novaru spoke out about this incident on a live stream, putting Adrianah Lee in a position where she felt like she had to address the situation. This is when another streamer named Mizkif got involved, who happens to be CrazySlick's best friend. Mizkif sent two other streamers, Maya, who was Mizkif's girlfriend at the time, and Mitch, a friend of Mizkif's, to Adrianah Lee's house to de-escalate the situation. According to Mizkif, via a leaked call between him and several other streamers after all of this blew up, the reason he sent Maya was because he assumed Adrianah Lee would trust her more, whereas if he went himself, it would look bad, which I don't understand because the people he sent are an extension to him because they were going on his behalf. Anyway, in a recent stream Adrianah Lee made in response to all of the current information coming out, she shared that she did in fact feel pressured by Maya to write things the way that she did to make CrazySlick look as innocent as possible at the time.
I'll make Slick look good, like an angel, because I did.
The reason Adrianah Lee felt pressured by Maya, on top of being asked questions like, "Are you sure this happened this way?" was also because Adrianah felt like her career and friendships were being threatened. She didn't want to be outcasted from the OTK group or any other friends she made on Twitch. So essentially, Adrianah Lee was just trying to appease everybody else involved after being assaulted and after having somebody else come out with her story about it. In other words, she very obviously wanted none of this to happen. Who would? Yet still, she ended up being blacklisted not only from OTK, but other groups and friendships that she made on Twitch as well.
I did a stream where I drank with 3 of my friends. It was a grand, old, happy time. Come to find out that later that night, Slick messages a paragraph to both of my friends who I streamed with, saying, "Why are you around Adrianah Lee? She triggers me. Please don't hang around her." When I was just trying to collaborate with some of my friends who happen to be bigger streamers than me. And guess what? I did not see one of those people because one of those people works for OTK. I have never hung out with him since.
After Adrianah Lee came out with her twit longer in 2021, Mizkif and Maya also downplayed his actions even farther by saying CrazySlick made people feel uncomfortable.
Even though it wasn't his intention, he made people uncomfortable.
At another point, Mizkif had the audacity to say this.
Of what you can deem of it, it's harassment, whatever. At a low scale, it's not really a big deal. I don't think people really gave it and really cared.
This turned the entire situation into a joke up until recently when all of this came out. I cannot imagine what it would feel like to go through something this traumatic, have someone else come out about it, then feel like you have to explain yourself, but you're suppressed and silenced from explaining yourself because you want to appease other people, and those people that you're trying to appease say shit like this. There's also a clip of Maya that has recently been circulating where she laughs at another story of Slick being creepy.
Slick asked her if she was dominant or submissive. And she called me and she was like, "Maya, I don't know how to," and she was like, "I don't know if this is hot or creepy as hell." And he continued to say weird things to her, just like a weirdo. And then later, also Slick is constantly asking me for permission to mount my friend, which is like not okay.
She said it was hot?
She said she didn't know if it was
Okay, that's good. I didn't know that. That's good.
I tried looking up when this stream was originally from and could not find a date, so I truly do not know if this was before or after the incident regarding Adrianah Lee. But if this was after that incident, then this makes this even more disgusting than it already appears to be. Even if it was before, this shows that she was aware of how creepy and inappropriate Slick can be to other women. But let's get back on track to more of the recent information. CrazySlick makes a short response to the accusations with a tweet. I never sexually assaulted anyone and never will. I have never had any intentions of ever harming anyone. I go out of my way to check on someone and I get accused of this is unfair. I will be getting a lawyer ASAP. Learn from the Johnny Depp situation and think first. Jesus Christ. But this didn't stay up for long as he deleted his entire Twitter account. His Twitch account still remains though for some reason. I find it quite interesting that a person could get permanently banned for having his fans say L+ ratio in a popular streamer's chat, but when it comes to somebody accused of something like this, that's fine. They're totally fine to stay on Twitch. It's all good. Back on track here though, Adrianah shared a thread of tweets of many other people giving their own testimonies against CrazySlick. Some were anonymous, but there's a common theme of people being afraid to speak out about this. Since CrazySlick is nowhere to be found online right now, he seems to just be MIA and deleted a lot of his social media platforms, a lot of the attention is focused on CrazySlick's closest friends and the people covering for him up until all of this blew up. The biggest being Mizkif. Mizkif has also been put on leave from his duties at OTK while this situation is allegedly being investigated by a third party. Mizkif came out with a twit-longer statement that seems really phony in my opinion. And what's even worse is his comment that he left underneath. I want to make it clear the harassment is about the Discord logs and comments Slick made towards every girl who came forward. Slick assaulted Adrianah, and there is no excuse for it. Her story deserves to be told, and I'm glad she was able to share it fully. There is no way that this is how he really feels. You were more upset that you might lose your best friend, my guy, especially considering this is what your thoughts were before you were thrown into the spotlight.
Of what you can deem of it, it's harassment, whatever. At a low scale, it's not really a big deal. I don't think people really gave a shit and really cared.
What I find to be the most irritating part about this situation involving Mizkif specifically is that he recently came back in a live stream victimizing himself over the entire situation and also pointing out some of his own flaws.
All that stuff happening, chat, I just had to walk away. I had to. I could not sit there and react to it or see it or look at it. It was just so much, I had to walk away. I think the smartest thing I did in this whole situation is I walked away. Because I think that helped me a lot, is by just not talking. And that honestly is the lesson I learned, is just shut the f up. Like, you just gotta shut up.
Do you mean that you shut yourself up and silenced yourself the way that Adrianah Lee has felt silenced over the past 2 years regarding this Actually, that's not entirely fair to say towards Adrianah Lee because she was silenced by you and your group and ostracized and isolated from you and your group, seemingly blacklisted as well, which allegedly stunted her career and affected her growth as a Twitch streamer, all to save your friend's ass. But what you're doing is saving your own ass by being quiet, the way that her being quiet saved your own ass. It's not affecting you negatively to shut the up, it's making things easier for you. The same way that doing all of this for the past 2 years has made things easier for you. If you truly cared about anything that was going on in the way that this affected Adrianah Lee, then you would be speaking about this from the jump instead of allegedly covering it all up. But your response to that and any criticism that you have received is calling everybody else disgusting and horrible.
Look, I know how Twitch chat is. I know how you sick, disgusting are. My life got ruined, alright? My life got absolutely fucking ruined. And I know damn well so many of you guys were just sitting there eating popcorn while it was happening. You guys are sick fucks. You're disgusting. You disgust me.
And feeling like you're roadkill being picked at on the side of the road by other creators.
It's like there's little remains left and they're eating. This is disgusting. There's literally, I'm like on the ground dying and they're eating. Like, what? This is terrible.
You see, the difference is I'd feel bad for the roadkill. Truthfully, I think every creator should be talking about this because this is one of the biggest issues I've seen online in a long time. And no, I don't mean to just rip on this guy and cancel him for being a prick. The message that I think should be brought across is that this was allowed to happen on Twitch in the first place, that this has been going on and that it seems like more than one person is affected by this. The wording behind Trainwreck's tweet implies that there was more than one girl that this happened to. And as we have seen, Adrianah Lee has brought attention to a lot of other girls who have received very inappropriate and creepy messages from CrazySlick. And I'm not sure if we'll ever truly know all of the details behind this. But I do think that it deserves to be talked about by as many people as possible so that people are aware that this is happening and that people are being silenced and that people feel threatened by larger creators like Mizkif and CrazySlick and whoever else, even when it involves things like sexual assault. So no, I don't feel bad that Mizkif had a rough few weeks.
It was been the 3 weeks of my life, easily the 3 weeks of my life. I barely sleep. I'm letting you know, I don't sleep. I'm on 3 hours of sleep, maybe. I have night terrors all night.
And while I don't condone sending hate, harassment, threats, or anything like that, when it comes to people giving you criticism and being concerned about this, no, they're not disgusting, they're not leeching, they're trying to bring awareness to this situation because it's really f***ed up. One more thing Mizkif did in his return stream was pull up this HR type of video regarding assault, not to educate himself or his fan base on what sexual is, but because there's one part in the video that he found funny and used that part in the video to mock other people and streamers who were watching his stream and criticizing him. You have to either be really stupid or really evil to bring something like that up as a joke in your return stream after everything that just happened. Just to clarify, he didn't watch this stream to mock the situation that happened. He was mocking the people criticizing him, but there's no way he didn't see how that was inappropriate, is there? Because you'd have to be really oblivious. His ex-girlfriend Maya came out with her own statement on Twitch, denying that she was trying to pressure Adrianah or that she even knew it was SA at the time. Exposing her own lies, however, she reads out a DM with Adrianah talking about how she herself had gone through an assault before. Why would you say that if you had no idea that this was SA? After the huge call between Mizkif and several other streamers was leaked, Maya then came out with a final statement on Twitter since she was not part of that call, and at the end of that statement she said that she was leaving social media indefinitely. But this isn't where the story ends. My discussion of Twitch having very toxic communities that have a lot of clickiness continues, unfortunately. Also, I know that clickiness sounds like a juvenile word, but it's the best way I could describe this specific thing. It's very catty, it's very high school. Let's go to another huge streamer. Their name is JustAMinx. They are a very big streamer on Twitch. She does seem to have a little bit of involvement in this CrazySlick situation. As she says, she did know about some of this. She admits that she knew that Slick was wrong, but she's still emotionally attached to the situation because she's friends with Slick, or was friends with them, and cared about him. First of all, we have Minx doing a reaction to Adrianah's stream, which was quickly deleted after a lot of backlash that Minx had received. She was saying a lot of really grotesque things about the situation.
Slick is weird. Yeah, he is weird. But he does it online. Like, he does it's always how Slick is. And Adrianah is a clout chaser.
She had even laughed at it at one point. Somebody had wrote on Twitter for her shortly after saying that she was taking a break, and then a few days later, Minx had posted another stream apologizing to Adrianah and saying she wasn't really supposed to be making this stream and other people told her not to do this, which feels slimy in my opinion for the other people involved. Something had been mentioned in that stream that feels really weird and uncomfortable. It's a very short clip, and this is what she said.
Not everyone's a fucking dickhead like these fucking streamers that cover it up, aka me and OTK. Ooh, shouldn't have said that one. should not have said that one.
I'm sure this is probably one of the reasons why a lot of her friends were telling her to do a scripted YouTube apology instead of coming on to Twitch. Shortly after this, another streamer came forward exposing Minx for allegedly blackmailing and intimidating her after an uncomfortable situation happened at a party. So during a party that was hosted by Minx and some friends, this streamer and a friend attended and started playing some party games with other people that were also there, one of them being strip poker, which, if you don't know, is a game where if you lose, you have to take portions of your clothes off. She claims that she felt pressured to take her clothes off in front of several other people who are also playing the game, many of which being guys, and it was a really uncomfortable situation, so they left, and according to what she said in this twit longer, she seemed to receive a lot of mistreatment after that from the guys that were there. She brought this to Minx's attention, claims that Minx was understanding at first, but then shortly after, Minx essentially and allegedly turned on her in favor of the guys that were there. Quite a while after this happened, this person made a twit longer without naming Minx or any of the other people involved, but even without being named, this prompted Minx to send her a message, and things got really heated really quickly. I don't know if you realized, but you manipulated and hurt many people in the last community you were in, and instead of owning up from your own mistakes, you ran from them. I wanted to believe you changed, but this shows me otherwise. If you want to hop on a call, I'm willing to talk about it more so I can hear your side, because bro, I hate cancel culture, and I know you have a family to support, and I don't want this affecting anyone's livelihood. I also completely understand if you don't want to. Let me know. To be clear, this is a very shortened version of this entire story. As far as I am aware, I don't believe Minx has yet made any public comment on this specific situation, and I know she is going through a lot of mental health stuff, but this took place between 1 and 2 years ago. But since she is going through what seems like a mental health crisis right now, that is all I'll say about this specific part of the video, other than this problem is clearly expanded to several large Twitch streamers, not just Mizkif, not just his ex Maya, and the few other streamers that were involved in this alleged cover-up, which I personally don't believe we'll ever know the actual amount of people who knew about this situation or were involved with it. This clearly is an issue. There seems to be a lot of corruption behind Twitch's largest streamers. Whether she is sorry for the situation or not, there is still corruption and there is still a lot of really big issues. Just seems like a really toxic environment. The reason why I wanted to go over this today was to, one, shed light on the issue for anybody who has been affected by CrazySlick or any other Twitch streamer in a very negative way, and two, to discuss this issue of people being afraid to speak out against larger streamers. This feels so different from YouTube. Sure, it can be intimidating to talk about bigger influencers from time to time on any platform, but it seems that whenever this happens on Twitch, if you're speaking up about anything at all, you're risking your friendships and your career. Especially when it comes to things like SA. In that situation, not only are you going through something traumatizing that nobody should ever go through, but it seems like you're also getting punished for it by being isolated from other streamers and essentially blacklisted from the community. And I definitely want to point out that I don't think that this is every single person who streams on Twitch or every single large Twitch streamer, but I do think that there are a lot of bigger Twitch streamers who are just very fake and are completely corrupt in circumstances like this. Thank you so much if you've made it all the way to the end of this video. Trust me, there was a lot more I could have gone over in this video, but it would make it way longer than it already is. I really tried my best here to summarize everything up to this point in a digestible manner, but I also really wanted to focus on the corruption of all of this because I think that that's really important to talk about. I also want to give a thank you to another YouTuber, Boblax, who really put a lot of time and effort collecting all of these clips from Mizkif to Maya to Minx, and also another YouTuber, Willie Mac Show, who made a really good video summarizing everything in a really concise manner, and any other YouTuber who has talked about this. I know I'll sound like a broken record, but I think this is something that really deserves a lot of attention because this is something that should never ever happen again on any platform. And when something like this involves a lot of huge streamers, content creators, influencers, whatever, it could be really hard to speak out about things like this, which is why it's so important for as many people as possible to shed light on it, because people in situations like this shouldn't be overpowered due to another streamer's influence. This entire situation with Adrianah Lee should have never ever happened. Any situation where CrazySlick allegedly made any other girl feel uncomfortable, or worse, harassed or assaulted, should have never ever happened. And most importantly, when something like this happens, nobody should ever feel like they are silenced, or that if they speak up about something like this, that they will be blacklisted or that their career will be threatened. With that being said, thanks again for making it to the end of this video, and like I said in the beginning of this video, I have a few updates that are entirely unrelated to the situation. And if you're still here, I appreciate you sticking around for this as well. I do want to let you know that I'm trying my best to get back to consistently posting. I am currently moving. Within the next few videos, hopefully you'll see me in a different location. That's going to be really, really exciting, but also very time consuming, so that's why I've been away. But this is also exciting for the channel itself. If you're a viewer that really enjoys the content that I put out, but you also enjoy things like live streams, once we get settled in, I will be able to start doing live streams and other forms of content. I also might start trying out YouTube Shorts. If you've been following me on my channel, once in a while I'll do a mashup type of video where I'll talk about several different shorter topics in one video, and I figured, why don't I just talk about those short topics in YouTube Shorts. And since YouTube Shorts are short form content that are obviously much easier to produce than a 30-minute video, I would sprinkle those in between uploads, so it's not like I would be replacing my regular uploads with them, it would just be extra content. So if you made it all the way to this point in the video and you like or dislike YouTube Shorts, let me know in the comments. I also did get sick a few weeks ago, and even though I am doing a lot better, I don't know what the hell is going on with my voice right now. I will update you more with the moving and everything as that progresses, but as of right now, it's pretty much that. We're just on a time crunch and there's a lot of chaos, but it's good chaos. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video.